The Bible has a lot to say about love. Love is best portrayed in the 13th chapter of Paul's first letter to the Corinthians. It speaks of how love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful.
Hello. I just had back surgery a week ago, and it's given me some downtime, some reflection time to study the Bible more, to be able to pray, to be able to go through my journaling. I journal every day. It's been something that I could go back and look at what I was thinking a year ago today and what I'm thinking now, and how much I've definitely grown. I went through the 5 grieving steps, but I keep going back through them, and I have triggers, and I'm definitely far from perfect. I keep going. There's no order that they come in. They can go all over the place. It's been a week of going through family photos and looking at everything that you end up with in a marriage and what you have to let go of. For me, I think honestly, the hardest part was I almost think I was ready when he told me he wanted a divorce, that I was going to get a do-over, a start over in life, and to be set free from some of the painful memories and things that were happening and how we reacted to each other. And I wanted that. I wanted to be able to start over. I don't know that I necessarily wanted to start over from, I don't know, a single person's perspective, but I know I wasn't happy and neither was he. So I wanted the pain to stop. But what I didn't think was going to stop is the most painful words that he's told me was, he didn't love me. That was painful. In 22 years, I have a hard time believing that, because I know that I still love him very much. I love our children. I love our grandchildren. It's hard not to look at the eyes of the little ones and not have so many memories flooding back through. The main thing for me was I'm a friendly person and he thinks differently on things. And when he cut me loose and told me that the one thing I won't be for you is I won't be a friend, that one crushed me. And I have to sit there and think, why did that one hurt me so bad? And it was because of all the years that we've had, that it's just been him and I. And he was my friend. He was the person that I bounced everything off of. So that was very painful to me. And then it almost made it as the biggest stumbling block for me throughout the whole entire divorce, was that really, he doesn't want to be my friend. He can't talk to me ever. That he has to dislike me in order to move on. And none of that made any sense whatsoever. So it became something that I just couldn't move on. I couldn't move forward from. It was almost like it kept me paralyzed in trying so hard. And with everything that I tried, it wasn't working. And it made it to where the more I tried, the more he disliked me. And I couldn't understand. I couldn't wrap my head around, how can you just completely erase everything? He took all of my pictures out of his Facebook, and he erased me as much as he could possibly erase me throughout his entire life, and wanted me to disappear. And I'm like, wow, how painful is that you could spend that much time with me? And we started out in a bar. I was a bartender and he played in a band. And then we ended up owning a bar. And that was an overwhelming struggle in itself, to think of all the years that we spent trying this and trying that and learning everything together. and we would take road trips and we would talk. We never played the radio because we were too busy talking to one another or singing songs and laughing and joking. And Name That Tune was probably my favorite, that we could take a 4-hour trip or a 2-hour trip and just sit there and start humming different parts of it. And he would start to sing something and I would remember it. Sitting around on a Saturday night listening to him play guitar was some of my favorite memories. We went through some financial hardships that I think most can't even wrap their head around. We weren't just living paycheck to paycheck. There was a long period of time that we didn't even have cable in our house. We struggled. We both went through so many physical things that it made it to where it was almost impossible for either one of us to be able to work and do things. So we went through some rough times, but I kept thinking throughout all of it that it was building and making us stronger. And for him as a man, I'm trying to understand some of that now, that it was hard for him to deal with. And maybe the only way that he could get through any of it was to cut loose and let go. We both have our different love languages on how we can communicate, and I've read the books and he's read them, and I've been reading a T.G. Jakes book this past week and trying to get a better understanding. So I know that him and I are done and there is no future between the two of us. It's still painful that I can have our grandsons and spend time with our granddaughter and do the different things and talk to the family, and to know that we'll never be a union and we'll never be united again. That part's painful. And I'm learning more about myself. I don't know. I know I'm heading different directions here today, but I think that's sometimes what life is you learn where you were and where you belong, and it is hard to find where you fit in and where best you should be. And I'm learning the peace and the calm and the stillness is almost like my serenity place, that I enjoy those moments. I enjoy when there's no one around but me sometimes now. I enjoy my own time in my apartment. I look around and I'm proud of myself for the way I've got it decorated, and it looks so cute. And I think it's been almost a year that I've lived in my own place. I enjoy getting home and fixing dinner, or sometimes just eating a little snack and hanging out with the dog and writing, and just, I don't know. Occasionally I even turn on Netflix and try to watch something. I must be honest, my biggest guilty pleasure is Schitt's Creek. It is, I don't know, the comedy of it, just the light humor. It's made me laugh so many times that I've watched the first episode like probably at least 40 times, I think, in this last year. And I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't have cable. Again, I like it simple and I like the quiet time. I also love the sound of little feet running around. I had the boys this past weekend, 2 4-year-olds, and we went and looked at Christmas lights and got out, and it was just fun watching through their eyes and the way that they look up to you. I know that was a big thing for me when we started with my granddaughter, who's 10 now, that we would go to church and take her to Sunday school, and I would even stay in the room with her. And I enjoyed watching all the children sit there and stir in their seats, and none of them sit still. And I kept thinking, the teacher is just sitting there just teaching along and teaching along. And are they really paying attention to this? Because at the end of it, there's going to be a quiz and they're going to get candy as a reward or a different prize. And at the end of it, I was always so amazed, especially the ones that moved the most, that they were still learning, that they were still soaking it in. And I think about my grandsons, and I have a little granddaughter named Jexie and a little grandson named Milo. And I want to spend time with all of them. I enjoy children. I enjoy the time spent. I enjoy the lessons that they teach us. They're so innocent and they're so pure, and the love is so deep, and it's just such a good time with them. I know that anyone going through a divorce and the breakup, I'm in a couple support groups, and I always tell everyone to start with TED Talks and to just soak in everything positive and to try to keep deleting the negative, to play music that you want to play. You should always sit there and, I don't know, program your own music list to what you want to hear that's going to make you happy. It can affect you in so many different ways. Don't sit there and get so soaked up in the sad stuff, because anyone can set themselves off in a trigger that way, that they make themselves so sad that they can't focus. And spend time around a baby. Spend time around the little ones. Enjoy that time. Look through their eyes. And that's what I'm always trying to do. Look through the eyes of the children, because that keeps you going and moving forward, and always makes me want to be a better person. It makes it to where I strive to always want to be and represent the best person for them that I can, so I can instill the values and teach them to be the person that they need to be, as I'm still learning from them myself. So it's a win-win. Nobody can go wrong on that. I've been going through a lot of vocal issues. My voice keeps going out on me, and found out the esophagus muscle around there is spazzing out. And so I have some tests coming up in January and some more in February. Not drinking the best stuff right now, but I'm trying to stay away from sugar. I always find that if I stay away from sugar, that I heal quicker. I take CBD, I take vitamins, I take supplements, turmeric and ginger root. There's so many things that you can do during a divorce, and you should always write a list. I highly recommend journaling. I've reached out to a counselor, and I'm working on a support group. And I think you should never feel completely alone. And you won't if you just keep reaching and reaching and keep praying. You can pray. You don't have to pray first thing in the morning. You can pray throughout the day. I talk to God 24/7 in my car, walking down the street. When I'm working out, I enjoy working out. Having the back surgery, I'm released now to be able to start walking again and doing the upper weights, and I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait to get back in the water. My incision's healing very nicely. I'm going to dig a little deeper in that one. I was able to kickstart my colon working again. My colon quit working 7 years ago in my marriage, and that was a rough one. I will get into that deeper in the next video. I'm going to go spend the rest of my day making Christmas candies, Buckeyes, and truffles, and enjoy a little music. And I know for me, that's, like I said, I keep bringing it back up, but it's definitely huge for me. I want to listen to music and clean and dance around the house, and getting ready to get a grandson this afternoon, so that'll be a joy too. And make some candies and just enjoy some time. Look for all the blessings you have. Anyone can find negatives. All you have to do is turn on the news. I want to find all the good, all the blessings. I want to see if I can always outdo all the negatives with 75 to 100% positives, and we can all do that. Have a good day, people. I'll be back again. Thanks.